in. Well, what the fuck is up? I'm Kid Quay Boss. Jules to some. I've got music in my headphones because I gotta have something going while I'm talking into the ether. And I've been very into Mac DeMarco lately. There's something soothing about his voice, his demeanor, teaching hard lessons in moments that's just like beautiful and free too. Let's see. God, I hope I didn't get too high. I guess I'll play like without one another. He does sound like a Beatle though. I'm sure that's apparent as well. I don't know what this is. I'm depressed and I want a video diary it, I guess. I'm also really tired of social media like everybody else. I'm also very burned out like everybody else. So maybe I'm not tired with social media so much as I am burned out with life in general. It hurts. I'm in a lot of mental anguish. As Glaive would say, I'm doing all right. I'm depressed. Still getting money. Still not giving up. Couldn't give up if I tried, because I try to a lot and I fail at it miserably, but I'll keep failing at that if it means I get to keep trying at other things. I look a little ratchet. I'm post gym. I did not hit the shower after the gym because I am DEP. Rest is what I need, and I'm still bringing y'all a video instead. Fuck, man. Pick some little topicies. Chat GPT. I'm asking for some conversational starters. Y'all can just get to know me. Instead of probably posting little tidbits on my social media, I do want to get into something a little more long form and deliver it to myself first and foremost. I've been having a lot of very sexually shameful, intrusive thoughts. I'm a thirst trap in myself, therefore I am trapped by the thirst as well. 'Tis paradoxical in its nature, but 'tis the life that I know. I'm looking the camera in the eye, looking death in the eye right now, and saying, I'm not afraid of you. You know, I'd rather express myself. Hear a dog in the background driving me crazy. It's not even my dog. My dog's a quiet girl. She's a studio dog. Alright, let's see what we got in terms of conversational starters. Do you have a favorite book or movie that you could watch and read over and over and over again? Movie, it's Inside Out. I've probably watched it 3 times since my mom's passed away, and it's something I can't recommend enough to people from broken homes, because it's kind of like emotions are complex, and all the trauma that gets dashed into it really makes the emotions seem even more complex than they already are. And so it helps me feel calm about that, because at the end of the day, emotions are complex and you can feel multiple feelings. You can feel anxiety and joy simultaneously. It's hard to do. However, it's that paradoxical nature of life again. And it's duality. It's yin. It's yang. It's very Tao of me. Yeah, so I'd say that's a movie that I'd watch over and over again. And then I read the Harry Potter series all the time. I do still. I read it in between books. I read it as a bedtime story sometimes. Those books are very well written, and I'm interested to see what's going on with the HBO Max series. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it still, because my girl and I, we built a Lego set of the Owlery for Hogwarts the other day while we watched The Goblet of Fire. And, I mean, their hair is ratchet, okay? Their hair was bad. However, the rest of it, this is when Harry Potter like grows up. This is when all of his friends really do feel a bit more grown up than the first three movies. Very much teenagers more than they are children, is how I feel about it. And I think it's still great. And Robert Pattinson as Cedric Diggory, the moment he jumped down from that tree was the moment that he was going to get cast as Edward in Twilight. It was that moment. Even before Twilight was in pre-production, the casting director was like, "I want Robert Pattinson for Edward." Space and time. I've been playing with it lately, taking my time to do nothing, a lot of nothing. I'm drowning in Star Wars to the point where I think I'm almost bored. If you've been around me, you really know. I've been watching, I've been playing. I'm on Jedi The Fallen Order right now in terms of video games. You're playing Cal Kestis, which is Matthew. Let me look it up. Let me look. Cal Kestis, actor. Okay, Cameron Monaghan, whom I did not know at all, and he is popular with my girl, and she pointed it out to me. Looks like he was in The Giver, Click, Gotham, Vampire Academy. There was something else. Shameless. He was in Shameless. That was the big one. And yeah, so Cal Kestis, played by Matthew Monaghan, is taking you through 5 years after all the Jedi die. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Revenge of the Sith. But after 5 years after all the Jedi die and they're considered traitors to the Republic, this is where it takes place, and they're trying to rebuild the Jedi Order. I'm also reading a book from the High Republic, which is set about 200 years before Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And it's more Jedi are in the peak of their power and their strength in the Force. Like, the Force is definitely residing with them the most. It's well before they fall to their arrogance. Yeah, so I've been deep in that. I could go deeper. My co-star today said that I rely too heavily on the things that I learned in the beginning, and I agree, because it's really hard for me to, I guess, like, go down to that surface level sometimes, because we talk about what we know. We do what we know. We share what we know. But what about all the things that I don't? It's hard to speak on what I don't know, or hard to speak on something deeper, because I'm afraid that I'm going to definitely be scrutinized for it. However, I'm going to be scrutinized anyway. That's what's fucked up. Me being too afraid to share myself because I'm afraid of scrutiny still doesn't even stop the scrutiny. People still fucking hate me. People still hating on me enough to help, fuel my insecurity and my low self-esteem sometimes. Is it my own view? And most people are just like caught up with themselves. Like, you're mostly caught up with yourself and really got yourself under the microscope. However, most people, I'm not putting my best friends and my partner the best I can under a microscope. I will say with like my partner and my roommate, it's a lot harder to not put them under a microscope, because I put myself under the microscope and they're in my living proximity. So it's easy to put them under the microscope, as well as my puppy Ari or our cat Banjo. Like, it's really easy to judge him so heavily because I'm judging myself so heavily. Squeaky ball, squeaky ball. My dog's got a squeaky ball. What is the best meal you have ever had? This New Year's Eve, 2023, Cord and I went to this pizza place called like Emery Pizza or Emery Corner near downtown. It was near where the music note was dropping in Nashville. And we went there. I had a pan pepperoni pizza with chile and ricotta on top. Oh, the fluff of the crust with the crunch of the sides of the corners of the pizza. It blew my brains on the wall like a Van Gogh painting. Mmm. I do miss that meal. I would eat that probably every day if I could. I'm a pizza dog. I inhale it, infuse it, think about it, pine for it, suffer for it. I think about it all the time. Pizza and sex. I lust. I lust so bad, y'all. I could lust. I lust about smoking weed. I get so exhilarated, ready for it that it starts to kill me inside. Like I'm just like, oh, I need it. I just like I get horny for things that are definitely that aren't sex either. I I definitely get horny off of things that aren't sex either. It's like sometimes just like right before we're going on a walk or something, I'm hard up, I'm bricked up, because I'm bricked up for life. Like I'm just excited hard. It's like an axilla boner. That's what I'm gonna call it. It's an axilla boner. It's just an exhilaration for life. Them's were the worst though in high school because it's no like nap boners actually. Nap hard-ons were the worst, and narbs. Those no apparent reason boners are horrible too. But they always sucked in high school because if you had to stand up from a desk, you got some basketball shorts on, you fucked it. You about to look like a fucking horn dog in front of your whole class, and now they all gotta find out I'm bricked up. They gonna think I'm like horned up, and I'm like, nah, I was just fucking drooling on the desk that I didn't finish drawing on. Um, uh, yeah, yeah, that food's really good. What's the most interesting fact that I have learned recently? Kind of that like most people in the Western world speak like big four languages of empires that have conquered us during colonialism, which is English, Spanish, French, and Portuguese. And I read that from a book called Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind, and it is a brief history from our beginnings as foragers and hunters and gatherers all the way up to the machinations that we have built in the last 100 years. And it's really brought my mind a lot of peace because trying to figure out how we got here with all the fuckery, trying to figure it out here and in the present why it's happening, it's just you can't see anything through the fucking static. However, when you go back, it's like our past kind of simplifies itself and you can kind of see the fundamentals of why our society is ruptured at the moment, and it has mostly to do with greed, and it has mostly to do with being like middle of the barrel predators. We're not new to being apex predators. When we were just out in the savannah like every other animal, we ate marrow. We ate bone marrow. And in eating the marrow, that's like waiting for the lion to eat, waiting for the dingoes and the hyenas to eat, and then you go over and you start sucking down on the bone. That's not just another night at the club. That's sucking on skeletal remains. And so we're nervous, we're anxious, we're not confident predators. We're like, "Oh, can I run and go get that, or can I forage it?" We got great survival skills. I'll give us that. However, when our creative thinking and critical thinking shot us up to the charts of evolution and we became the dominant apex predator, there were no natural checks and balance for us. Like you think of a tiger or a lion, they're confident, they're graceful. There's been millions of years of evolution providing checks and balances for these things. Gotta bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. checks and balances. Yeah, but for us, like we shot up so fast, nature really didn't get a chance to give us our worthy adversaries. And so like we're really anxious to hold on to what we have cuz we think it's all going to get taken away. We're still new at being on top, and we don't necessarily trust that we're on top still because that theoretically for every each other species has taken millions of years. For us, off the back of creative thinking, cooking our meat, fire, certain innovation, our ability to innovate and work together, we've propelled. We're like an anomaly. Got so much anxiety around cameras. It's like they make me not want to say something, and I'm attacking that right now. I'm rat attacking it. This is Raticate, just slashing up on a fucking Spiro right now, just trying to get my chops up, trying to get more comfortable being on camera. I used to be a lot more confident with it, but for some reason, post pandemic, mom's passing away, just lost just all the changes, whooping my ass. Now I gotta come back out of my shell again, so here I am, hotter than Madonna. Yeah. Have I picked up any new hobbies or interests lately? I'm interested in recording video. I've been afraid to do it, so I've been recording music instead. It's like I default to music because it's ka-chow. It's like I default to music because it's a safe bet that I can produce music. I can provide that outcome confidently. However, I've not been very inspired, so I'm stressed when I'm making music because I'm like, it's uninspired because my inspiration is lying in recording some video media and getting my face out there more next to my expressions and doing my best to deepen my expression, I guess. I felt like it was so baked in while I was in undergrad, and it was all English department and critical thinking and critical thinking and critical thinking and essays and what do I think, or people are around critiquing my work. However, even from like high school to college to real life, I could feel myself getting almost like more and more lost, because in high school it's like my reward systems were set naturally and rhythmically. Like, yeah, like school, like the academic sitting down, like that's bullshit and that sucked, but my social relationships were there, and I had a high social value because I really enjoyed others, whether they were different than me or the same as me. I wanted to be connected and part of what they were doing, and I wanted them to be connected and a part of what I'm doing. And so like, it would be like school, and then it would be marching band, and then it would either be going and getting high with my friends or going to work at Sonic and then getting high with my friends. Like, it was always there was a good tempo and cadence to it. And then when I got into college, it was more like drugs and partying and kind of losing sense of community. I wasn't in marching band anymore, so no extracurriculars really. I was rapping, but I wasn't connecting with the scene very well, and I felt definitely like a misfit. I got lost in, and people are more competitive academically in college, so it feels a little more standoffish it felt a little more standoffish to work with them. And I don't have a lot of friends from the English department post undergrad because our relationships are strained from the era of narcissism and conceit in academia. Like, really kind of gave me a complex and evokes a lot of insecurity in me, because yeah, I got existential because it's like, wow, there's a whole universe that I never thought about. And I feel like I just have gotten lost progressively more and more because I'm not tapping in and trying new things, or I'm not approaching my music like I would approach it in marching band, where there's 3 rehearsal days a week, where there's competitions and stuff lined up for me. And now it's like if I don't have the manager or the means, it's like I have to create the means, and I'm not sure how to do that. And I'm creative, so I really just want to be expressing and making, and anything else sometimes can get me real stuck. So I gotta find my element of play with everything. And it's kind of crippling how expensive everything is when you're just out here alone. And I'm not fully alone. Shout out the guys at DMG. We working together hella. But even I think they can relate to what I'm talking about for sure, because we all definitely come in and out of feeling lost and found again, and that's okay. Shag a rat, pussy strap, pussy chips, sour cream, and clitoris. Pea brain, shithole stain, gravity cock. There's a damn carpenter bees outside my window right now. So obnoxious. I have a residency coming up. Please come and see it. Chattanooga, Cherry Street Tavern, 2024, every Thursday in May. Please be there. Don't be square. And listen to Rare. I love y'all. Jules, Kid Quabos, however you know me. Whatever this is, till infinity.